Good morning. Good morning to all. Hello. Good morning. Am I audible?
Good morning.
Yes, yes. Good morning. Yes. So, how are you all today?
Fine.
Yes. So we'll just start about yesterday's. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Got the screen? Yeah. Got the screen? Okay. Yes. So yesterday we had stopped this since Keynesian law of consumption. Here, what we are going to see here, the concept of consumption function is what? It is something, the psychological law, which helps you to know that people tend to spend more on consumption when the income increases. This is what we saw it in the yesterday's class. Whenever you spend more on consumption, there is increase in your income level. So the rise in the spending behavior is not the same. So always it never be the same. It always tend to changing. And it is not the same extent to the rise in the income because of the part of the income is saved. Yes. So here what they are going to say, the concept of consumption function stems from the basic psychological law of consumption. That means it always depends upon your income. It always depends upon your behavior. It is always depend upon your spendings. And the psychological law of consumption shows the relationship between income and consumption. This is what we saw it in the yesterday's class also. Always the person's income and depends upon your consumption as well as the savings. Once your income increases, that will have an effect on your savings. Yeah, you have in yesterday, what did we start with the topic? We started with money and banking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me just complete that topic. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Yes. Yes, you got the screen now? Yesterday we talked about functions of money, that is store of value, medium of exchange. We also saw the instrument of deferred payments and supply of money. Yes, whenever you talk about this, supply of money is a stock concept. Okay, stock concept is a store. It refers to the total stock of money by the people of a country at a particular point of time. So yesterday we saw M1, M2 and M3. Now there is another function, that is M4. Okay, very, very important these are. M1 is where yesterday we saw about you have your currency plus demand deposit and your other deposit. If you add all these things, that is your M1. And what is M2? M2 is M1 plus deposit all with your post office saving bank account. And M3 is what? M3 is your take M1 completely along with net deposit income with your commercial banks. And M4 is what? All the total of M3 plus any deposits which you have from the post office. Very important. These equations are very important. Kindly make a note of this, all of you. Kindly make a note of this. Yes. Now narrow money. Remember, there are two kinds of money, very, very important. Narrow money is said to be as M1 or M2. Broad money is always said to be as M3 plus M4 because M3 and M4 are those which includes with the commercial bank deposits along with your deposit schemes which is stayed in your post office. And M3 is the aggregate money resources of your country. So all the money resources that is being present in the country, it is M3. And India is governed by minimum reserve system. Make a note of that. India is always governed by minimum reserve system. The entire currency has been backing up of minimal gold reserves. And yet money refers to all the assets that can be quickly converted into cash. That means liquidity. We have our country has more of the liquidity positions as well. So India is governed by minimum reserve system. Remember. And now coming to the liquidity, this is liquidity is a situation whenever the currency wants to convert any kinds of asset into cash. So it will go through your country's income system only. So near money refers to all the assets that can be quickly converted into cash. And liquidity aggregates are nothing but L1, L2, L3 and L4. Remember, L stands for liquidity. So again, along with your M1, M2, you have liquidity also as L1, L2 and L3. And how banks create money? Now, there is an example. Listen to it very carefully. Suppose A deposits 1,000 rupees in one bank, okay? And the bank will have certain percentage of its reserve. As you all know that every bank needs to maintain the reserve system. And what will be done with the rest amount of that particular bank? If the percentage of reserve is less than 10, then bank will keep 100 rupees. And 900 rupees will be given for lending purpose. Remember this. Bank will not take entire or 90% or 80%. Only 10% of the amount deposited from a person, they will keep it. The rest, 90% or 95%, they will give it for lending. So the 900 rupees which is lent deposited in another bank, XYZ, out of 900 rupees is 81 rupees. And that rupees extra what they get, 81, 819 rupees. Yes, yeah, someone question has been asked by thing. Can we consider narrow money as near money? Yes. So one question has been asked, can we consider narrow money as the near money? Yes, you can considered. It refers to those category. See, narrow money is that category of money that helps you to supply all the real money held by the central bank. So central bank has the full authority to print the coins and currencies. And also it includes demand deposit. Okay. Okay, Suresh, your understanding? And other types of liquidity. Okay. Suresh, are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See here. Now what they are telling in 900 rupees, which is lent to deposit in another bank. So what the bank will do here, they will take 900 rupees and that 81 rupees will be kept as a reserve. The total amount will be 890 rupees will be lent. And this process is being repeated again and again. That means just to put your money circulation. Therefore, money created out of 1000 rupees will be calculated by money multiplier. Can anyone know what do you understand by money multiplier or what is money multiplier? Any idea about this? So what is money multiplier? See, money multiplier is a term of monetary economics. That is a phenomenon of creating money in the economy. That means you put the money into circulation and create the credit for money. So money multiplier is known as monetary multiplier. And the formula for money multiplier is, write down the formula for money multiplier is, the formula for money multiplier is 1 divided by reserve ratio. The formula is 1 divided by reserve ratio. So it's here. This is the formula. Yes, write down this formula. Money multiplier is 1 divided by reserve ratio. Now, they have taken one example over here. If money created 1000 rupees will be created. How? 1 divided by 0.01 is equals to 10. So therefore, for 1000 rupees, you have to multiply this 900 rupees into 10. So it is 9000 rupees. Now this will create a more demand for the money. Write down. Yeah, so please write down this. Okay. And there is one, we'll see the theories of demand in next. Till down, write down the money multiplier. If you want, you can take down this complete example as well. So will you take down? You want to take down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please take down. Suresh, take down this. Yeah. Yes, done. Can I move ahead to the theories? Can I move ahead? Ashu? Yes, okay, done. See, now next concept we are going to talk about is theories of money. So when you talk about the first theory is quantitative theory of money. See, quantitative theory is represented by Fisher's equation. MV is equals to PT. Now write down this equation and I'll tell you what exactly it is. Okay, MV is what? M represents money here. Okay, money supply. How much the money is being supplied. And P is represents velocity of money, the number of times the money has been changed in hands. And P represents the price level. How much is the price? Yeah, sorry, there was a little network issues. I'm facing little network issues here. Okay. Yeah. So sorry, there was a little network issues. So this theory says that M represents whatever the money supply that has been taken into the consideration, and velocity of money. Velocity is nothing but how many times the money has been changed. time to time. Remember, velocity of money means the number of times the money takes place, the changes in the economy. And P represents always the average price levels. And T represents the volume of the transactions in the economy. And next is quantitative theory of money. Here it assumes that increase in the quantity of money leads to inflation. Yes. Now inflation is what? It is the increase in the what? It is increase in the price level. Remember this. Whenever we talk about inflation, inflation is a situation which leads to the increase in the price level. So price level plays a very important role to any economy. So, and classical Keynesian theory says that P is equals to F of M. F is nothing but function. F denotes the function. And the Cambridge equation is MD is equals to KPY. P is average, K is proportional national output. All these equations you should make a note because questions will be asked from this. Okay, make a note of these equations. MD is equals to K, P, Y. This is the Cambridge equations. And Y is national output. And K is output or income that a person holds in economy. Very important. Now, when we talk about this, there are a few assumptions that has to be taken into consideration. And just now I told about Keynesian theory of demand for money. To know this Keynesian demand of money, first we'll look into the Keynesian. Who is Keynesian and what was the theory that he has been bought? Okay. So we'll just look into Keynesian theory of model. Yeah, see here, Keynesian consumption function. Now, who is this Keynesian? Yes, Keynesian plays a very important role in this theory. He has one person who has shown the difference among the income and employment. Remember, he is one person who shows the relationship between your income and employment. Remember this. When the name itself says Keynesian, two components you need to know, that one is income and one is employment. So he has, according to him, if there is a changes, listen to me carefully, if there are changes in the level of income, okay, if any level of income changes, that will really help you to know the consumption of the individual, consumption of individuals. So changes level of income will help indicates the changes. So Keynesians laid stress on absolute size of current income as determination of the consumption. Yes, he says that a person's current income is always depending upon the consumption, for which this theory is also known as absolute income theory of consumption. So he has bought this function of consumption function. And he has one formula also. In mathematical form, he has expressed this consumption in the formula. C is equals to A plus B YD. C stands for expenditure that a consumption spends. YD is equals to the real income of a person. And A is what? It reflects autonomous consumption, that is the amount of consumption expenditure at the zero level of income. And B is what? The constant parameter which reflects the marginal propensity to consume. See, MPC is what? It is that level which shows the consumption level along with the marginal propensity consumption is a situation which shows the consumption of a person along with your income. If the income increases, even the consumption also increases. So which helps you to measure the increase in the consumption spending along with the response to per unit. And this also increases when your income also will have an effect. Now mathematically, B can be written as B is equals to MPC is equals to change in consumption divided by change in income. Remember, C denotes consumption. Okay, C represents consumption. Sometimes in questions they will be asked, C represents what, Y represents what. Remember, C is consumption, Y is income. C stands for consumption, Y is income. Make a note of this. Please make a note of these equations. Is it clear? It should be interactive class. Is it clear? Please make a note. Yes. Now this Keynesian, what did he say? See, the Keynesian concept of consumption function states that the stems of fundamental psychological law of consumption says that any people want to spend more on consumption when your income increases. Okay, see, you assume that if your income increases, don't you think that your consumption level also increases? Don't you think your consumption level also increases? So the fundamental psychological law of consumption is always based on three propositions along with the behavior of the persons. Remember, he says that he has studied and brought various theories stating that whenever there is a change in income, it is always depending and it will have a change of the behavior. First situation says that when the total income increases, the consumption expenditure of the commodity will also increase. Yes, if my income increases, expenditure also increase, and this will become less proportionate because here your marginal propensity to consume will become less. Savings to consume will become less, and sometimes your propensity may go up to zero also, because your income increases, you spend all your income on the, because your expenses also increases. Once your income increases, your expenses also increases. Second point says that an increment of income will be divided into same ratio between savings and consumption. So an increment in income will always be divided into some ratio between savings and consumption. See, I have made the savings. Okay, I have the savings in me and it is always equal to my consumption. For example, I have earned 10,000 rupees. Okay, so in that my expenses will go up to 8,000 or 9,000. So 1,000 rupees will go to my savings. Yes, if income increases 12,000 also, so your savings also becomes 2,000. An increase in income will always lead to increase in both consumptions and your savings. Got it? Clear? Clear with the point? Priyanka? Kirtana?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear with the
Yes, ma'am.
Suresh, any doubts?
No, no.
Yeah, now the concept is clear.
Also send up.
Yeah, anybody said something?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Tell me.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you said something? No, right? Did you say something? Oh. Yes. Now we'll move on to the next banking of issue notes. Okay, in banking and money, next topic is banking of issue notes. I'll just open the screen. So here we are going to see about the functions of RBI. What are the functions of RBI? Functions of RBI. Bankers Bank. What does the bank do? Functions of RBI. Can anyone tell me what are the functions of RBI? If you know. From where they get money?
Regulate the insurance of banknotes.
Yes. First and foremost thing, they print the currencies. Okay. They print currencies. And they decide upon the bank rates. Okay. And they act as lending and borrowing also. Lending and borrowing function also. Yes. So first and foremost things, bank of issuing notes. Banker to government, when government expenditure exceeds the revenue and we face a situation of deficit, and this should be managed by borrowing from the RBI. Sometimes government has some kind of loss or deficit. So what at that point of time the government will do, they will ask the RBI to print more currency in order to fill up the deficiencies or the money supply in the country. So this is the first test and very important functions of RBI. Second is bankers bank. Yes, see RBI acts as bankers bank. Okay. As bankers bank, it has almost same relation with other banks in the country as the commercial bank with its customers. That means it maintains a good relationship with the customers. And it accepts deposits and commercial banks and offer them loans. That means RBI, okay, they start accepting the deposits. And after taking these deposits, they what they do, they offer loans at the interest rates, different interest rates to the commercial banks. And lender of the last resort. That means in this RBI will also issue or give bank loans in case of emergencies that arises. So during emergencies, it gives loans. So it accepts the deposits, it prints currencies, and it acts as the banker's bank. And also it acts as a custodian for foreign exchange. Not only in national, it acts as for international as well. So central bank is the custodian of the national foreign exchange reserves, any kind of reserves that has been maintained. So in-house, it will first act as a function of clearing house function. That means any checks are there, they will try to clear that, okay, through the RBI account. So any foreign currency checks banks are there, they will try to create from the bank in the economy. And next, it is have a control of credit. Yes, central bank increases or decreases the supply of money. Very important function. Okay, credit control. Okay, it controls the credit. Any kind of income or decrease in the supply of money in the economy by the regulations of creating credit by the commercial banks. And this in turn, commercial banks comes under the RBI. Yes, and next type of function is monetary policy tools used by RBI. What are the monetary policies used? Yes, very, very important. It has framed this one committee, which has 6 members, including Governor of Reserve Bank of India. So monetary policy, to frame the country's monetary policy, country has come up with the one committee that is RBI. Okay. Yes. Now, first one is quantitative policy tools, the first monetary method, you can say. When you talk about quantitative monetary policy, this is very, very important in order to, it concentrates more on the reserves of the country or the reserves along with your banks. That's been there. Now, under that, the first one comes your CRR, credit reserve ratio. What is this credit reserve ratio? It refers to the percentage of total demand deposits of the commercial banks, which they must keep as cash reserves with the RBI. Very, very important. Some portion of the reserves of the country has to be kept along with RBI in order to meet the future circumstances, contingencies. Okay. And SLR is statutory liquid ratio. Okay. This is cash reserve ratio. You can make a note. Cash reserve ratio. Yes, next one is SLR. SLR is statutory reserve ratio. Yes, what is statutory reserve ratio says? Here some percentage of deposits has been held among with the commercial banks. Some percentage of the reserves will be held in the commercial banks. And bank rate, yes, reserve banks, okay, offer loans to other commercial banks without having any collateral. Can you even tell me what do you mean by collateral? Can you even tell me what you understand by collateral? What do you understand by collateral? Suresh, what do you understand by collateral? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. What do you understand by collateral? Security.
Security document.
Yeah. Any documentation. Without any documentation, RBI will lend a loan to commercial banks because they have direct trust on the commercial banks. And repo rate. Repo rate is nothing but interest rates relating to loans only. Okay. For some kind of security purposes. Repo rate is relates to the loans that's been given by RBI to commercial banks along with your security. And what is this repo rate? Yes, reserves in the form of reserves permitted to keep their funds, surplus funds with the RBI is called as RRR. Reserve repo rate. And these 4 are very important from the point of view of your exam. This kind of questions they might ask for match the following or another things. So just make a note of this. I have asked you to keep one book. No, wherever I say make a note or write something full forms. So I hope all are doing it. Okay, just make a note of all these quantitative functions. It comes under the quantitative CRR. Yeah, read. Make a note of it quickly. Yes, done. Have you written? Have you written? Yes. Next is OMO. What is this OMO? It is the it is open market operations. What is this open market operations? It refers to the sale and purchase of securities. What are securities? Portfolios. What are the portfolios? Anyone? Shares, debentures, preference shares, equity, all these are securities that can be sold and bought in the open market by the central bank. So if central bank enters, so you have 100% security in doing this. So by selling the securities, the central bank absorbs the liquidity from the economy. So when this transaction happens, the government will have the full equity. And by buying the securities, the central bank releases the equity. Now these are the quantitative money policy tools. Now next one is qualitative money policy. So there are two important policies in the things. Now here you have margin requirements. As what is this margin requirements? Rationing of current and moral suasion. Okay, very important. Now what is this marginal requirement? See here, it refers to the difference between the current value of security offered for a loan. That means the collateral and the value of loan granted. Suppose you have sanctioned a loan of 10 lakhs rupees. And what is the collateral for this security? So the difference between the two is said to be as marginal requirement. Okay, rationing of credit is what? Here it refers to fixing of your quotas for different business activities. Quotas means limits. Some kind of, limitations will be sanctioned for the business, for doing the business activities. The RBI fixes the quotas for the business activities. And third one is moral suasion. Yes, here what happens? Pressure. Okay, the central banks, member banks agree to through pressure to follow its directives. That means all the advisors, liberals in lending during the deflations. Inflation is increase in the prices, okay? Increase in price level. And same when you talk about deflation, deflation is what? Decrease in the prices, price level of the country. Yes, so these are some of the qualitative monetary policy tools. Next comes commercial bank. Before going to the commercial banks and number of commercial, which are the, how many number of banks in India are there? Okay, before going to this, I just want you to go through quickly these things. Keynesian model, and here you went through, I want you to go through central bank. Go through the central bank quickly. Once it is done, tell me, I will scroll down. Okay. Yeah, India's central bank is RBI. It was established in the year 1935. RBI is central bank, remember. And it is also called as Bankers Bank. And it was established in 1935. Headquarters is in Mumbai. And you need to know today's in 2023, very important general question, this will be there, okay? I'm telling you, general question, what is the current policy rates you should know, okay? As of today, then policy repo rates you need to know, because one question will be asked in today, 2023, and also what is the bank rates given by RBI, what is the CRR rate and SLR rate. Make a note of all these things now early, and I'll tell you what are the rates. Or if anyone know, just tell me, or else I'll give you the current today's 2023, the general rates of all these interest rates. Okay, quickly go through. And if it is done, tell me, I'll scroll down. Shall I scroll down? Yeah, just glance quickly. Yes, any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, Okay, then we shall stop here. I'll send this notes also. Suresh, any doubts you have? Ashu, Tanisha?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so hope you understood, no?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, so I'll be sending the notes in the group only. Okay, so you can
Thank you.
take and do the reference. If any doubts in the next class, you can ask me. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Happy weekend. Bye. Yeah, I'll send previous chapter notes also, Suresh. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll send. Don't worry. Okay, thank you.